everybody. This is our name Bryan from Amata World Podcast, and today we have our next guest for the gaming episode, Ashutosh Singh, who is the founder and CEO of HapzSoft. Ashutosh, how are you?
Yeah, no, I'm good, Ed, and I'm good, and hope you are doing well. So thank you very much for inviting me on this exciting podcast. I was really looking forward to be part of it and maybe share my knowledge or whatever I know a little so that other people can get benefit from it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pleasure to have you here. And maybe for our listeners, can you give a quick introduction to yourself and your background?
Definitely. So I have around 15 years of experience into the industry. I started as a developer, worked with a couple of gaming studios, software development companies, and then become project manager. So so I have like end-to-end experience right from the development to project management, and I have worked on a few pretty huge size project for SaaS-based products initially, and then in 2019, I was like avid gamer actually. I used to play a lot of game in my office as well. I had a gaming group, and I was part of that. So like in game, like when I used to start playing game, I was fully immersed into it, and I really loved it. So I always used to think like, should I do anything that I really love? And then this idea came into my mind that I should explore gaming industry, and then I started learning about people in this industry, and then you won't believe I started as a freelancer, uh, got my first project over Upwork. Those days, like it was pretty hard as a new developer to get a project over Upwork, but I got my first project that was a monster mind actually for like an adventure game for the kids, and it was not just an entertainment game; it was a serious kind of game wherein you can not only play, you can learn also. So that was my first game. Uh, so while building it, I really needed one more help, and then I hired my first employee or first intern at my company. His name, I would like to mention his name also because he contributed a lot in the initially. So his name was Adarsh Jha. So he joined us, and we both worked on that project for around 2 years, and that game did really well. And you want like after that we started getting a lot of project over Upwork, and then I thought, why not hire more people who love playing game and developing game. Then I started hiring, and this is the story of HapzSoft. This is how it started, right from love of game to a business. And now right now, in around 5 years, we are a team of 25 people. All of us are gamer, and like a fun fact, like every day after lunch we play 30 minutes uh, some kind of game together, multiplayer game.
That's cool. It's kind of like a team building experience as well. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like now that you have this, much larger team that's working together in the studio, like what are you currently working on nowadays? What can you tell us about, for example, like the genre of games you're focused on, like how many projects you have ongoing, etc.?
Yeah, I would not say I have a large team. I have pretty small team at this moment, but I would say like my team is pretty strong. So I don't need to hire 100 people. I guess 20 people, but they are all skilled and they are passionate about gaming. Uh, like your question, coming back to your question, what kind of games and genre we are covering? So see, so we are not limited to any specific genre here. So because reason being, we have when we started, we didn't know like what kind of game and genre we are going to cover. We just started with a adventure game, and then we started getting requirement like hyper casual games. Then in 2000, the big break that I got was in 2022, like during this COVID, like COVID period. That was an MMORPG game That was a massive multiplayer game. So that was my first MMORPG game. Um, so like then we started hiring people for that. Actually, we really needed someone who know multiplayer pretty well, like multiplayer server, Photon Fusion, Mirror. So we hired people, and then that required a team of 10 people to build that game. And after that, back to back, we started getting requirement related to RPG, MMORPG, and other like hyper casual, casual, and like even AA class games. We were not handling the entire project in house, but few of our developers were working with a team which was like a Europe-based team actually. That was in Ireland-based company. They were building a huge AA class game, and they hired around 8 people from our team. So we all were involved into that, and that was really exciting. And one thing I wanted to bring into a notice, like, see, like big games like Call of Duty, PUBG, or other famous games, they have big teams and they do it in house. Most of the games are built in house. Uh, then you can ask me a question: why small studios? Why you have opened like a development shop or development consulting company? So reason was, like, let's say if you want to build a game today, okay, you have an idea, you want to build a game, what you will do? You are not going to talk to these big companies to hire developers or resources. Either you will learn yourself or you will hire some talent outside, uh, also like in your country or outside your country. So there comes up like the companies like us or people like us. We are passionate and we enjoy helping others build their idea. Really enjoy that. So that is what we are doing. Like not only helping big companies, helping individuals, a small group to build their idea into a game.
I think it's just like right now, maybe there are a lot of kind of hype around AI, and but I think
Yeah.
even like recently, just like when I was scrolling, like checking LinkedIn, and there was like a funny video about the next frame is actually like AI generated, so it's like generating live the video game. So what do you think about that? And how are you worried about like losing a job in the future? Or you think it's like it's still very rusty, it's just like a fun feature, but it will not actually like substitute for teams and developers.
Absolutely, this is a good question. Everyone asks this question. And like, did you see this video on Twitter that someone built this game using Grok 4 recently, and that was really cool. So if you are talking about that, I really like that, and like we are also building games using AI whenever it is needed. But I can tell you definitely that it is not going to take anybody's job 100%. Reason being, like game is not just about like writing few line of code. It's about first having your idea. It's great idea, whatever is in your mind, and then creating designs for it. So then comes 3D assets, and then comes development, building features, integrating multiplayer, stuff like that. So how AI helps us? Like AI is not there to take anybody's job. I think AI is here to help us accelerate things. Okay, so let's say you, Anna, you want to build a game and you want to build an MVP for it first. Okay, so you can go ahead and try AI and build an MVP first, and you see like, are you satisfied? Like, do you think it will work? And if you are satisfied, then you go ahead and hire professional people who can add more complexity into that game. So AI is good for maybe boilerplate codes, I would say at this moment. In future, I don't know, but I don't see it building full-fledged game at this moment.
So, like, can you tell us about some of the ways that I guess your current studio is using some of these new tools? Are you using any specific kind of tools, or is it more of just, like you said, is it just for using as a sort of way to prototype, or are you also using it sort of in the middle of the development cycle?
Yeah, so like during planning, we use this AI to plan it better, like understanding the market, what value need to be added, like we are missing anything, should I suggest anything to the client and that they are not telling us. So earlier, what used to happen when the game is built, then comes some idea that you need to add this also, or something is missing. Now we can do some research around AI, check the market around it, uh, get the data, and find out, yeah, this is the right fit. We should go ahead with this idea. First step. So we use like during ideation, we use AI, and then comes maybe art. Like personally, at our company, we never got any help from AI till now. Like full-fledged 3D object creation or 2D object creation has not been possible. We have used Midjourney and other tools, but hard luck for us so far, because every client has a different requirement, and their assets are different, their tastes are different, and they may not be happy with anything that AI generates. So in that case, like we need artists. Okay, so but we play around. Like we talk a lot with any kind of AI and try to uh, create a document or something so that we can follow that while building it or creating the art. The main use that we are seeing right now in writing codes, what happens, like we are using Cursor, using ChatGPT, recently started using Grok 4, and then to like maybe write boilerplate codes so that we don't need to spend a lot of time initially to structure the code and stuff like that. We have all the files created, and then we start writing code inside it. Like we edit it, and then like a lot of time is being saved here. And once that module is built for debugging or finding out, like let's say uh, earlier what used to happen, if we are stuck somewhere due to a very minor issue, I forgot to write some line of code, and like I'm not able to run the program. So earlier we were stuck and took us like weeks to find out what was the error, but now it is faster. So those kind of stuff are gone. We are not blocked anytime. Like always, we have some kind of solution. Uh, so that helps us accelerate the project, and ultimately it helps us to build the like game within the timeline and cost.
I think it's just like as well, I'm kind of like curious about like the difference of the game industry in like in different countries, because you mentioned that you work with someone in Europe, so because you're helping other companies in the game studios as well. From your perspective, their view on AI, or like how they're using AI tools, or like how the market even itself like reacts to different games, what's more like popular, let's say in India, or just like if you know someone like in Europe, and yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So I know about India. In India, gaming industry is evolving pretty fast. US is mature. There people are playing a lot of game. Like they they try new games. But in India, so far we were mostly playing mobile games. Okay, but now, uh, when the Gen Zs started playing PC games, console games, so there is also a huge need of like PC and console and high uh, like high graphics quality games nowadays. Like earlier, when I was in college, I used to play Temple Run. So that was a pretty basic mobile phone game, and that was something everyone was playing. But in US, people were playing Counter Strike or some sophisticated games. But so we have like picked up really fast in India. In Europe, like people are very mature playing games. Like when I play multiplayer games with Europe-based players, like it is hard to beat them. They're so good. They're so good. They're playing for so long. Uh, but hopefully, India has a huge population, 1.5 billion people, and it has just like started. So we have a huge opportunity here in India, building games, and lots of big gaming companies are opening up their offices in India here in Bangalore.
So I think one of the things I like about games as well is how they can sort of use that medium as a kind of way to tell stories as well. So and lots of
Yeah.
games get very popular from this kind of leaning on the storytelling aspect of things. And since the game industry in India is still up and coming, do you know of any projects, or are you working on any yourself that's trying to infuse, I guess, elements of the Indian culture into the games you're trying to create? So I think one example I'm thinking of, for example, is like one of the recent sort of hit AAA-ish style game that came out from China infused, its own sort of mythical legend into it. The story of the Monkey King. I don't know if you know, like maybe Full Kong. So something like that. Do you think we'll see anything similar coming out of India?
Yeah, like that reminds me, like recently I was watching on YouTube. There is a YouTuber in India, in Bangalore, uh, Vaibhav Maurya. I may be wrong, maybe wrong, name may be wrong, but they are building games on Indian mythological or uh, mythological stuff. And like just saw the demo, it was really amazing. Like really high quality graphics. What they did, they uh, went to a historical place in here in India, and they just locked down the entire space for a day. They use all the cameras, and they created like 3D assets based on that. They have rendered it, and now they are building this game. When I watched this video, I was amazed, and I am really very optimistic that in coming time, India may have like pretty native or like very relatable games in India as well. Because in India, like Mahabharata and Ramayana. I'm not sure if you have heard about Mahabharata, if you know about Gita. So in Mahabharata was a huge battle between two groups, and if anyone build games around that, I'm sure it is going to be like very successful. Not even in India, but in entire world. Because the story, when you read about it, it is very fascinating. You will get stuck into it. Like Krishna is our like one of our god. Like we consider so Krishna was telling Arjuna was a fighter, a warrior. So he was telling, like, when he was fighting with their uncles uh, and very close people to them, due to some dispute in family, and somehow the other group disrespected the women in that family. Then this battle started, and he said, like, don't see, like, in dharma, don't see who is yours. You need to be the side of right, and you need to fight the wrong. No matter if he's your uncle, he's your brother, you will have to fight for the right. So if anyone builds game around it, I'm 100% sure that it is going to be a big hit, because
And oh,
movies
sorry.
in and like recently, I heard that a movie is being launched named Ramayana, and so once that movie is launched, so you see this trend, like movie and then game, so that may follow.
And do you have any kind of like a dream game that you want to build? Some kind of like, oh, I really want to work on this
Yeah,
type of.
obviously the game that I was talking about right now, that is the dream game for
It's
anyone.
like,
If you can
and do you
pull it.
think, yeah, but do you think it's just like it would be possible as well to combine in the future? Because you mentioned films. Would it be
Yeah.
possible to unite two of those? So you're actually kind of like exploring like a Bandersnatch type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That is totally feasible, and even in many cases, the people are doing it. So, like recently, I got a requirement from UK itself. This client, I will not be able to tell his name, but what he wanted to do, he wanted to build a horror game based on a horror movie. So, and for desktop as well as VR. So you wear this and you feel like some horror happening inside, and like you can understand how hard it could be.
Probably
So
not for
yeah.
me. Like I'm not the type of person who will survive the horror in the VR.
Yeah, so yeah, it was recent, so I called. So yeah, people are doing it already.
So, I mean, well, you kind of mentioned it, you're working on the VR project, but have you done a lot of sort of VR projects in the past as well? And like, what do you think about, I guess, VR as a new console with the future?
Okay. So see, Hab Software Solution started as a gaming company initially, but in 2022, I got to talk to someone and who said like VR games could be also pretty good. Like in US, there are studios, not even like it may be in other countries also, but gaming studios, you go there, you wear this VR glass, and you do short fight game and like unlimited enemies will come, and then you need to kill them by sword. So like it is so immersive. People are so addicted of these kind of games nowadays. So I see a huge potential into VR games first, and not only that, in our company, we have worked with pretty big companies like Tata Elxsi. Tata is very popular here in India, big company. So it has collaboration with a company, VR driving simulation. So what they do, they have this setup. You wear this VR, you have this steering, clutch, brake, and in VR you are like like driving your vehicle, car, and it will guide you through everything. And it is kind of driving simulation so that we build for a company, and they're doing really good. So VR is something, we have a special branch in our team. 5 people are working. They all are expert with XR, VR or AR or mixed reality, and they are building cool projects nowadays. Like few interesting projects I would like to tell you right now here. One of them is roofing simulation. So in like US or Europe, like there are roofers who do roofing. So what used to happen? Like if you need to train a new roofer or someone who roof, then it takes time and it is risky. You cannot ask him to go on the roof and just start roofing at the first day. So how to train them? So we build this virtual simulation for roofing. So they like in that environment, you wear this VR Oculus 3 or Pico, and you pick up the tiles, put on the roof, and it will measure if you are putting it correctly or not, and it will give you feedback. Hey, you are doing this wrong. Do it again, or so, like so. It is a tutor also. And now what we are going to do, we are adding multiplayer functionality into it. So you like, let's say Bryan is learning by roofing. He is on the roof and trying to place the tiles, place the starters, and then let's say Anna is a trained roofer, and she joins from her home in VR in multiplayers, and she lands into this virtual world where Bryan is roofing from his home, and then you are watching him like what he is doing, and maybe helping him, talking to him. Hey, Bryan, can you pull it this place? Can you now add a starter here? Can you cut the tile now because it is extra in the right hand side? So he will do it. And not only that, you can also work with Bryan to train him. And like this is lovely and quite immersive. If like I don't have any demo right now, but if there is something, I would definitely want you guys to take a look. You will enjoy it. This is the future.
And it's interesting that there are some kind of stats in terms of like if you're learning a new skill, if it's gamified, you need to have less repetitions to create the neural networks in your brain
Yeah, you learn,
to set
you
the
learn,
skill up. Yeah.
yeah, you learn super fast. Yeah.
And do you have any hopes and predictions for the future of the field? And as well, if you have any advice for people who want to develop the game, and as well, what do you want for the future to bring to your own company and your projects?
Sure. So I would like to break this question into three parts. First, gaming, how I see the gaming future. So I see a lot of game, like big, interesting, very popular game built by maybe a very small or tiny group with very less funding. That is possible now. Second, in VR and mixed reality space, I see a lot more training happening in simulation world instead of person going to the manufacturing unit or going to roofing spot to learn it. They can learn from anywhere, and that is going to happen no matter what. And third, the future of coding, like game programming or any kind of programming, I see like AI coming pretty hard and working as an assistant for any developer. I'll help them building any project pretty fast in less budget, and that is what I can see in pretty near future, in 2-3 years, I would say. And suppose, like,
Right.
let's say if we had this VR room where we all three are sitting there in virtual space, and podcast is being recorded, it will look so real that we are already sitting here at the same place in your UK studio, and we are discussing about the future of gaming.
Yeah. Future of the recordings will be in the metaverse. That's what it is.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we are unfortunately reaching the end of the podcast. So I think it's probably a good place to end. But I'd like to leave the last minute or so for yourself, Ashutosh, to share sort of any final words you might have for our listeners, or also like if people are interested in the work, some of your work and the work from your studio, like where can they find you, and sort of how can they reach out to you if they have any questions?
Sure.
We'll be sure to include the links in the description.
Definitely, yeah. So for anyone who wants to build their career into gaming, I would say, like, if they are interested in any kind of internship or job, they can share their resume at hr@hapzsoft.com, HAPZSOFT.com. And if they are interested, if there is any person who wants to build a game or VR or XR application, they can just explore our past work on www.hapsoft.com or send email over info@hapsoft.com. So you will obviously put the links in the video or podcast so they can get it from there. But yeah, anyone interested in knowing anything, or anyone want personal suggestion for their career or anything, just reach out to us. We would be happy to help you.
Great, amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today, and hopefully see more games developed by you in the future. And yeah, thank you everyone for listening.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
Bryan. Have a good day. Take care.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.